And we're live. Hello. Hello, we're live with our very first Jock Nerds podcast. That's right. That's right. We're doing it. We're finally doing it. We're doing what literally every single other person is doing currently. Starting a podcast. There's me, Kun. And then there's also... Oh, fuck, I'm trying to point at you guys. It's not really working. We've got Matt there.
Oh, mate, you're pointing off the screen for me.
No, shut up. Shut up. It's fine. It works. It works. Rachel. And we've got Chris.
You literally just pointed in completely the opposite direction.
No,
yeah,
it's
you went
fine.
like, everyone's up here.
It works the stream.
So you pointed that way?
No, it's fine. I was pointing at you. So you're Matt.
That way.
It'll be fine. It'll
So
be fine.
we're doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, we are.
It should be bi-weekly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's not going to be
Fun,
any
yeah.
specific theme. We're just going to shoot the shit for an hour or more. Probably an hour.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's it.
Yeah,
Really
That's it.
fancy.
That's pretty much it.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Rachel had the idea of just starting by sort of telling the story of how we all met and how we got
Yeah.
together. The
Yes.
wonderful tale of how this shit show started.
I was going to say how this shit show began. That's the exact same thing.
That was
The
hellhole
dark
drive.
times of
This is how
coronavirus.
this is where hell was born. So I was sort of the latest edition, sort of.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, one of.
What?
But you're on
Yeah.
par with Rachel, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
who joined at that point is kind of lumped in.
All
one go.
together.
I mean, so what?
I guess we start with us two then, Matt.
Yeah,
Was it
used two little shits.
2017?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
That's RTX was, yeah.
Because I was
So, yeah.
2018.
we met in the pub, I believe.
We did.
Custom House.
Yep. Classically
Playing-
British.
London.
Playing some lovely drinking games.
London,
Yep.
right outside Excel.
Yeah, God. Oh, that's so long ago now, actually.
Should we?
I was actually thinking about this earlier, knowing we were doing this, and I was like, I can't remember the moment I actually specifically met Matt. I've got no idea.
I mean,
Well,
I can put a rough estimate on it.
Yeah,
It was when
I
we
knew
were
it was
sitting
in
around that
Custom
table.
House on the Thursday night while we were playing drinking games.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
And
I know you were there.
I didn't know the bloody rule that oh shoot, what was his name came up with?
Jake?
Yes, Jake.
Was it
Jake,
the little man one?
I don't
No,
know.
I need a little man.
Should
rule.
we maybe explain what you guys were doing there? You didn't just
No, we were
randomly.
getting drunk.
What?
You didn't
Never
just,
randomly,
you
we
didn't just
bumped into
randomly
each
meet-
other.
Yeah, you didn't just you randomly go to a pub in London but neither of you live even close to each other, and
Drunk
just
and
sort of
like, hey.
find each other and start this. So, I think probably the people who are going to be watching this sort of know what Rooster Teeth and what RTX is.
Yeah. But I guess just in short.
just in case, if
Yeah.
you're watching this years and years from now, after we've all killed each other and been in the news. So Rooster Teeth is this production company. You might know them from Red vs. Blue or Ruby or whatever. And we were all fans of them. Some of us, most of us. Some of us still
At
are.
some point.
Some of us still are. Some of us were.
Someday somehow.
And they do an event called RTX Rooster Teeth Expo.
Yes.
And,
Yep.
we all, most of us, it's definitely all of us, the entire group, volunteered to help out.
Yeah.
And
So the first year they came to the UK was 2017,
RTX
which
London.
is RTX London 2017, which is when myself and Matt and a few of the others who are here in the group with us, but I think the majority are 2018 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who.
Yeah, we volunteered to cross the country for free to London to volunteer at this convention for some insane reason in its first year.
We were bloody
Um,
stupid.
And then the Thursday night we were referring to earlier was we turned up, or at least for me, we turned up, we found our teams. In my case, I couldn't find my team. And then we were immediately told we weren't actually needed on the Thursday, so we could leave. And it was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and a room full of people just kind of went, pub. Yeah.
The classic British
Yeah.
What else is there to do? Let's go get drunk.
Let's go get. So we wandered around the corner from the XL, which is where the event was happening, to the custom house, and I was sat on one booth on the other side of a wall, and there were a bunch of loud idiots on the other side of the wall. Until I heard one of them yell something about store team, and I was like, "Wait, that's my team. That's where I'm supposed to be." So I immediately abandoned the people I was drinking with, came around the corner, and that's where Matt was one of those people, even though you weren't store team.
No, I just bumped into all the... Well, not bumped into. It was like
So
the store team guardian...
bumped or bummed?
Bumped.
My
No.
life.
Yeah, no, the store team guardians were just like people who I got on with as soon as I turned up with, I guess. Which is why the year after I transferred to store team,
It is the best.
I,
Team.
I was happy out
Yeah.
initially.
I mean, it's the best team. It's the best team in London.
Yeah.
No.
In Austin, where
best team.
they usually do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, happy.
I'm sure we can have a episode of the podcast talking about our experience in Austin at
Just
some
all-
point.
Yeah,
The-
fair enough.
Yeah.
There's some stories to tell there.
At some point we'll talk about Austin.
There's some stories
Yeah.
to tell there. So
Yeah, so that was 2017.
Hmm.
And then obviously it came back again for the next year, 2018,
Yep.
which is where me and Chris met these two reprobates.
That's where
Yep.
we joined. Yeah.
Also, I'm meeting Kuhn in the custom house. Pretty much the exact same place where I met you guys.
Also me. Like, I remember, my plane landed. I went to my hotel, checked in, had some food. Read somewhere in some Discord group that you were like custom house. I went there and I was like, I'm never gonna find these people. Then I walked in and I thought, yep, it's them.
Yeah, it's the loud obnoxious one.
It was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
obnoxious loud people. Fucking moved, took all the chairs from every single table, moved a bunch of
Yep.
tables.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we shuffled
Sounds like
because we
Tom.
knew there'd be a lot of
Sounds like
people.
Yeah.
Immediately, we walked in and we were like, "Right, this area is ours now."
Oh, ours now.
And just like it was just kind of, we started with a circle of chairs around the booth, like spreading out, and it just gradually just got more and
We're
more.
just
Because,
like building.
To be fair, we gave them a lot of custom over that weekend. So
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
think they can
Yeah.
Store
complain.
team alone.
Yeah. And it was actually
know, yeah.
it was actually Chris who
Mhm.
who first talked to me, because I walked
Was.
up and I just sort of looked around, not I wasn't really sure what to do, and Chris went, store team. I was like, yeah, I think
Yes.
so. Sit down.
Me.
Okay.
come and sit down there.
And then
You're stuck here now. This is
Right, this is it now.
I don't actually remember meeting either of you two. I remember you being there, but I don't remember like the initial.
That's the thing. Like,
Yeah, I don't either. I don't remember seeing Kuhn throughout the entirety of RTX. Like, I saw
Yeah, he just
me and
made it
Kuhn.
up.
Then I saw him in the Discord and I was like, who is this? And I was like, I guess he's store team. Like, cool. Good to meet you.
I was thinking about that because I remember Chris specifically, and I was sad because I was so what we did was we were working sort of the merchandise store there. We were basically doing
We were the
everything
store
that
team.
needs to be done.
Team.
And I was behind the tills registers the whole weekend, and I was sat next to Anna and Woody. So I definitely remembered Anna and Woody. I remembered
See,
Chris because he talked to me. I remember Pia and Alex, Ginger Alex, because they were sort of that. Was Alex? There was sort of that elite,
Yeah.
elite group of people
Like-
who were supposedly in charge.
Pia, Alex, and myself were tended to be the people wandering around that till area,
Yeah.
making sure you were all okay and having breaks and crap like that. Just because we'd done it, all three of us were from the year before in store team, so it kind of just default fell to the ones who survived the first year to
I remember
just kind of like help where we could.
I wasn't. I think I was on the store on like the till area for maybe an hour, maybe max 2, where I replaced Rory as the hype man.
Oh yeah,
remember
yeah.
that.
I
I
did,
remember
I
that,
did
yeah.
that for a fraction of the time, and then I went back to the front because I was on letting people into the store on the
Yeah,
till,
you were the
Yeah.
entrance, weren't you?
Okay.
Yeah.
which was great.
one of the
'cause-
reasons why I sat down and just stayed at that register, that specific one, is because the store was right. The exit of the store was right by the main stage, and I was
Yeah, you
sat-
could see
I
it,
could
couldn't you?
see-
Yeah.
like, basically the whole weekend I was talking to people, like taking their stuff, taking their money, or giving them stuff, taking their money. Not even.
Just like, give me the money now.
I'm foreign. Leave me alone.
It's fine, guys.
I'm not even looking at them, just looking at the main stage.
Dude, why do you think I was on exits the entire time? I didn't have to do
Yeah,
anything. I just kind of watched the main stage, like, cool. If something happened, I was like,
That's why I remember Rach, because
Yeah.
Rach was one of those people, because of what I was doing, which was mainly just walking between tills and other places, making sure people were doing their breaks, drinking water, like surviving the weekend, because the first RTX was like a war zone. And Rach, every fucking time I walked out of that exit, was just like, "Have you had something to drink, Chris?" Even if it was like I'd walked past her, turned around and came back, she would say it again
like,
every
you
time
got
I was
something?
past her.
I was like adamant. I had Haribos, like someone from main stage was giving me Haribos, and I was just handing them out to people like, "Do you want a Haribo? If you had something to eat, here's a Haribo to keep me going. Have the fucking Haribo." It's like throwing them at Scott halfway through it, just like fucking eat something.
Was it you or Tiff who like force-fed Scott some pizza at one point?
Tiff force-fed,
I think
like
it was
force-fed
Tiff.
him, yeah. Because
Yeah.
as he was like talking to Monica, like she just walked up and shoved it in, and I watched her do it, and I was like, "Yes, I am proud."
It's like, he needed it, but also he was not amused, and it was very funny.
Not happy. It was great.
Couldn't eat anything for the rest of the event. No, I'm joking.
No.
That's the major selling point of being a Guardian, isn't it? Free pizza.
Free pizza, man. Yeah, I remember someone telling us that, and I walked back and like, there's just all of us sat behind main stage, just like on the floor eating pizza, and I'm like, oh my god, where is everybody? Who's like looking at the store right now?
If by any chance there's anyone considering becoming a Guardian, don't take that seriously, because they don't actually give you free pizza all the time. That was
We
just
got
luck.
lucky.
That was luck.
We got very lucky.
We just
Definitely
had
not in Austin,
really good,
yeah.
store staff members, I guess.
I think it was.
The
I
actual
think it was
staff.
Monica and Ryan. bought us
Monica,
pizza.
Ryan.
And Tony.
And Tony
Yeah,
bought us the
Yeah.
pizzas. Yeah, and then other
those three
teams
stars.
kept coming over and kept being like, "Do you guys have pizza?" And we were like, "Can we give these
No.
guys pizza or not?" Just like, no. But if you go behind stage and you find pizza, that's okay.
I mean, the doors were supposed to be locked, weren't they?
No, you can sneak around the
kept
side.
finding keys.
I mean, you say that, but one of the locks was broken, and then
Yeah.
Scott ended up with one of the keys for one of the locks anyway at the end, because he just didn't. He found it in his pocket like afterwards in the pub, and he was like, "Oh well, I guess that's too late."
Those keys were everywhere. Like,
Yeah, there were
kept
so many,
finding
and
keys on the floor, on the
You need the key
carpet.
to get through because you just pushed on those double doors in the storeroom and they opened.
To be
Yeah.
fair, if you'd push on the wall a bit too hard, it'd open.
It's also like the back bit was also open, wasn't it? Like you could just. I remember just walking around, like 'cause
Yeah,
it
it
was
was just
the
an alleyway.
exit,
Yeah,
and then
it's
there's like
like
an
the hallway.
alleyway you could
Yeah.
walk around. It's like, what's the point of having the doors there? Why not just have them completely invisible? It was very weird.
Well, it was definitely a place where, like,
I can tell you why, because that's what we had in first year, where the only way to get to the stock room was to leave out of the exit of the store, walk all the way around the alley, and in through the one door to our little stock room. And when there's like a few thousand people queuing to get in the store for like 17 hours, and the line doesn't seem to move, it's really difficult to get stuck.
I remember
They'll explain it. They'll explain it.
I was unhappy at our team, so we were just kind of held back as reserve in the day because we did the night events.
Yeah.
Standing up at one of the windows, up in the XL, and looking down the store and just going, "Wow, it looks like a shit show down there."
Can
I was
confirm,
like-
it was.
We never got called down to help you guys, which I thought was kind of weird. But
Weird.
yeah,
I was like
well.
an
There
attendant
wasn't enough space.
first year, and I remember seeing that line. I was just like, I'm not going anywhere near the store. I was like, that's too long of a line. Like, I never even went in. I was like, it's fine. I'm good. We're
mean,
chill.
how it was designed in first year. I remember like we'd finished setting up. We'd come in, so on the morning of the first day. So we'd set up. I'd spent basically most of my Friday putting one of each shirt design in a photo frame to hang up so people could see while they were in the queue and everything up in the air. These photo frames. And I remember everybody getting in like the next morning, 2 hours or so before the floor opens, and just most of them had fallen on the floor in the night and shattered, and there was glass everywhere. So
Fuck, that's
we spent our
so
morning cleaning up
cute.
glass, had no way to show it,
Oh.
and then like just as we were ready, everyone was stood there. They opened the big like shutters at the end of the hall,
Mhm.
and people just walked at the store, and we were like, "Oh shit, this is where this begins." Just like there was nobody going left or right to anything else. Like everyone was just beelining for the store, and we were like, "Uh oh,
It
oh
makes
no."
sense to go to the store.
Just like running for it.
It does make sense in hindsight because those people who arrived first didn't have to go back at any other point,
See, it does make,
and that was a good choice.
But on the other end, you're queuing up to get into the store, right? You
Yeah.
get into a queue. That queue is you're in that queue. It's a queue for another for the actual store.
Mhm.
Yeah, so basically, like how it ended up working was there was a queue to be let in through the entrance, and then there was a queue in the store to pay, and then that queue got so long that Line's team had to come and make more queues off of it,
Oh
and
my
like
god.
take off more area,
Such
and that was like down to them, and I've got no idea what the hell was going on.
Right.
I basically spent 78 hours sat at a till or stood at a till because the tills. There were 4, not like the 12 that we had the next year, and we didn't have seats. We stood up for the whole time.
Oh my god, you did not.
Yeah.
Nice.
God damn it.
Yeah, I was
horrible.
standing for most of it at the entrance. I had a bit of a break on a seat every now and then, but most of the time I was standing.
So same
Yeah,
with me in the second
yeah,
year. I
yeah.
was stood or walking around for the vast majority of the time.
I think there's a difference between walking around and standing still, though. Like standing still, you notice it more.
Yeah.
whereas
Yeah,
just walking
absolutely.
around-
You end up like bobbing, like one
Yeah.
foot to the
Isn't
other.
that why like guards have to like actually change? Like a guard changes, or like they have to walk around for a bit because if they don't do that, they'll stand, and then as soon as they move, they just faint because all the blood.
I
will
imagine
just,
so,
like-
yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
I
maybe.
say, like,
Goodbye.
if like, and, like, yeah, absolutely. Like if guards stand around for too long without actually walking around a little bit.
Well, when
all
I
the
worked
blood
in
sort of
B&Q at the
sags.
tills,
Brains.
yeah, we didn't have seats at the tills, but they had like a padded surface on the floor. Was like the solution, which I guess is an okay thing. If you're doing an 8-hour shift.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, you don't want to be
It's just like
you don't want to be sat the entire time because my lower back side
Oh, no.
hurt. I had to stand up a couple of times as well.
I mean, that's something I've learned since starting an office job. You don't really want to be stationary for 8 hours.
No,
Let's be honest.
No.
Definitely not.
No.
Definitely not.
Mix it up a little bit. Go do some standing, go do some sitting.
Speaking of,
By the end of
Oh,
RTX,
man.
no, my feet were just killing me. Like,
Yeah, I remember.
I mean,
I
yeah,
don't.
Yeah, I remember like sitting down in Custom House after we'd finished it, and I was like, "This is what it feels like." I was like, "Oh my god, my feet have never felt like this before."
there was
It was
the
horrible.
whole packing up thing as well.
Was it the Fox or was it Custom House? Oh, packing up.
Yeah.
That was.
It was the
Should we
hotel,
talk
wasn't
a
it?
bit about that?
Well, we started at the Fox, and that's where the song was sung.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
we
that's
sang-
where we went a bit too far.
And then the police came out because they had told us about 2 hours ago to leave, and we were
It
not
wasn't
leaving.
2 hours. It
It
wasn't
was like an
2 hours.
hour. It was like an hour or something, and like we were all just stood outside singing songs. Everyone else had left.
It's
just
where we
us
terrified Monica
stood on
as
them.
well with
Yeah,
British
'cause-
drinking.
Because you were chugging the whiskey. Because
Yeah, there was a big.
wine.
It looked like a wine bottle, and Monica
Mhm.
thought it was a wine bottle, and we were just passing it around, drinking from it. And when she realised it was
Mhm.
whiskey, she was horrified
I mean,
because we were like drinking pints as well, and just like passing the bottle
Yeah.
around.
It's fine, mix your drinks. It's
on
all
top of
good.
that, drunk Chris is a sight.
Yeah, drunk Chris
It's
is
fucking
interesting.
I think
It is-
most of store teams are sight.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
You don't
dude,
need to-
it's
I won't deny
don't-
anything,
I
but
don't
I've
remember-
definitely seen
I
some
don't-
from other people.
I don't remember it when I've been drunk. So I mean,
like I'm fine.
going on a drunk adventure with Chris. That's a story.
It's not
for a
me you
different
need to
day.
talk to.
Yeah, that's an Austin podcast story. That adventure is.
Oh, you're not going to talk about Birmingham.
Oh god, Birmingham.
Fuck.
Well, I mean,
Birmingham
there was only one person who really
So,
got that drunk in
to,
Birmingham.
to clarify, Birmingham. Well, that was actually the second sort of bigger meet we did. Like after RTX, we
Yeah.
after
Manchester.
RTX London, we met up
Manchester.
with a bunch of store team people in Manchester, where a lot of alcohol is consumed as well.
Yeah.
Scott
A lot.
basically drinking the entire bottle of Desperado by himself.
Mhm. Yep.
Yep, a lot was drank.
I remember
then-
like getting there.
No,
It seems like
Alright, good start.
I was just like, I just remember getting there,
remember
walking
getting there.
downstairs, Drew, and
that
just,
was
like, there
you
was just,
giving
like,
everyone
10
tequila
crit.
shots.
I remember
Great
that.
show.
I
Like,
remember
it was
that.
the story
Yeah.
Rory making his bloody cocktails
His
and
little corner in the
much
corner.
alcohol in the bottom.
Oh, I was thinking Manchester.
It was
Like
bad.
when
Yeah.
oh, was that Manchester as well?
Yeah.
Because he was
Yeah.
making cocktails in Brum as well.
It was
Because
Yeah.
it was like 2 a.m. or something. Everyone had already been drinking for ages, and Rach comes out and starts just lining up shot glasses for like the 20 people
I was like,
we have in this Airbnb. And she just pours tequila into all of them. She's like, everybody's doing tequila shots.
like we're all doing it.
Everybody.
I remember like the OG team were upstairs, and I remember walking upstairs with them with like somebody else behind me carrying them too, and being like, "Tequila, anybody?" Just like a little goblin, just like, ooh.
It wasn't a question.
It wasn't a question. You're drinking it. There you go. Have fun.
So the
But you
takeaway
are,
from the
yeah.
past like minute is that we drink far too much. when
Yes.
meet.
We are all
Yes.
alcoholics when we're together, basically.
I think you
Yeah.
need to be an alcoholic to survive RTX.
Oh,
To survive.
yeah.
Should we talk about like pack down and stuff like that? Because
Packdown was like that was the most fun for me. I think.
it was
You think?
fun, but it was traumatic.
I was just
The
pushing.
facts about so
Well,
basically
nice.
what happened was that
It wasn't that bad.
we had done basically everything that needed to be done for that store, right? We'd come in, taken all the stuff that was shipped in for RTX London, put it out on display. We'd sorted the fucking the storeroom, so
Yeah.
it made sense.
Oh, that was great. That was
That was
so
amazing.
good.
It was so good. Was it Tom and Pia?
It was mainly
And
Tom and Pia,
also-
yeah.
They did a great job. And then we ran the store for a weekend, and then fucking packing everything up to send it back to. Was it actually going back to Austin?
Some of it did, I think.
Right, and then the other London store or the UK store as well, right?
Yeah.
But that's been packed up. That's when people who weren't on our team showed up to help. They helped.
Yeah, because at that point, it was technically we were done. If you wanted to
It's supposed
leave,
to be done.
that was
The
it.
amount
You were done for
The
what
amount
you'd
of
volunteered
fucking
for.
Times I had to explain people how to stack boxes. It's not that.
Oh, same.
It's not that difficult to make a fucking
probably one of
decent. It was you and me, wasn't it, Matt?
If you just stack the same box as each other next to it, then you get a nice flat surface, and you can stack more boxes on top of it. It's a revolutionary idea, I know.
The amount of times I have to
People
tell
putting
people,
like
don't.
this big box next to a tiny little box, and then you've just got a fucking slant, and it's like,
And then there was the thing where we had to get the. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say.
You're gonna say it.
I was going to say
oh
anything.
no, he's gonna. I know.
Don't
he's
say it.
gonna
Don't.
I know,
Please
I
don't
was
say
gonna
it. I don't want to be
codes.
traumatized.
Oh,
No, not the
So
skew codes.
what we had to do was pack. We'd unpacked everything, right? So everything came in boxes, and we had to unpack everything, store everything in the fucking the actual.
There were
store area.
baskets.
There
There were like
The little
baskets for
baskets
like
they were in,
shirts
There
and
was-
boxes for
do you remember the
posters.
whole
Basically,
class
basically-
baskets as well?
Right, yeah. Basically, this Q code is like a code you.
It's just an identification code.
Right,
Yeah.
Right, like a
For an
bar
item.
or something, right? Sort of. We had to pack everything, put everything back in the boxes, and then write the correct Q codes on them as well.
And
then
the count.
And,
Yep.
we had to count everything. Yeah. So we had to
Yep.
count
That was
everything
horrible.
And you've got to make sure that that code is facing outwards. from the
Facing
palette.
outwards.
Yeah.
The best part about that,
What's it open again?
it was definitely you and me, Matt, who were like making sure those things were stacked correctly.
Well,
Because that's when I sort of found out
I
who you
was
were.
just- I was using, I was using the pallet dolly. I was just running the pallets back and forward.
I remember you doing that.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it the other Matt? I'm not going to say the name we give him. Because it's not
I mean, to be
accurate.
fair, I was telling people how to stack boxes at the same time.
It was me and someone.
Yeah, could have been me.
The best thing about that was me. I was talking to Monica about those pallets, and at some point I walk up to her. I start looking at these boxes and at these pallets, and go like, "I'm pretty sure there's also boxes like in the center." And she just looks at me. She's like, "Yeah."
Going off dealing with that
Probably.
one. Just like,
It's too
yep.
late now.
What are we gonna do?
She looked
Bye bye.
like a fucking deadpan stare. I was like, yeah.
Because we'd been doing pack up since before the
was-
end of
it was-
RTX, so probably about 3 o'clock.
It was 10 p.m. I think. at that
And we finished at like
We
10
finished.
o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's because that was when we had to leave the venue. We had
Yeah.
to leave at 10 o'clock, so it was be
Came and kicked us out.
it was be done or like
Be
that's
lost
it.
in.
There was nothing. You had to be out by 10.
I remember.
Security was like, we are coming for you.
I remember walking down to the Fox with all the fucking leftover first.
I remember seeing you do that, and I was creased. It was fantastic.
I think I had like 10 boxes, and then Ryan comes along and he's like, "Hey, do you want a hand carrying those?"
It's like, put it in.
Oh yeah, there's my hat.
There's my little hat. I've got Rui gave me his one, and it's over there somewhere. I don't know where it is. Oh no!
I'm glad Tiff's about in the chat as well, because I was going to say the same thing. So you were talking about like what you were doing during that, and literally me and Tiff were just standing near the pallets, waiting for someone to throw a box at me. I'd then close it, slide it to Tiff, who would slam some duct tape on it, and we'd move it to the next thing. And we just spent ages just being like, fold, duct tape, move, fold, duct tape, move, fold, duct tape, move.
Right, yeah, Tiff was
We ran out of duct tape, and then we were just like, what the fuck do we do?
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Tiff was a tape.
Because I was like,
right?
yeah, Tiff had tape. I remember like I was stood with you guys helping like get everything like packed into the boxes and stuff. And I remember passing Chris a box, and he looked at Tiff and went, "Where the fuck is the duct tape?" And like I was like, "What?" And I was like, and then didn't someone go to Tesco's to try and find more? And like nothing, nowhere had any more tape, and that was it. We were all like,
I don't
stood
remember,
around
honestly. I really don't.
I think we just started putting boxes on top of boxes that didn't have duct tape and being like, we'll just cellophane it closed and it'll look done.
Which we did do.
Yeah, it looked fine in the end. It was good.
I remember running around the pallets with the cellophane trying to just...
Yeah.
I remember seeing you do that.
Did people like...
Hey, that looked like the most fun, and I did not get to do that.
Driving the carts and wrapping them in cellophane.
Did you do the thing where you put the roll on a broom or something?
Yeah,
and they were running around. They were running around the pallets.
That's incredible.
I used to work at a grocery store, right? And we had to do that as well. Where every time we finished stacking something, we'd have to. But then at some point you'd lose the broom, right? And you'd have to just hold it, and that was the most annoying, painful, unsatisfying shit ever.
I started out doing it manually by hand, and I was like, "This is taking so long." Yeah. And then someone's like, "Have you thought about putting it on a pole?" Yeah, that is a smart plan.
I like this idea.
Did you actually have a pole, or was it actually like a broom, or was it just a pole?
I'm not sure what it was, but it was some kind of like stick. I think it was just a bit of wood we found on the ground.
The great thing about having it on a broom is that there's the actual broom bit on the bottom, and you can just hold it at one point, so you don't have to like. It's not touching your hand at all. So I remember, and it's gonna like press down your hand, right? So it's gonna cut your hand up.
I was holding it top and bottom and running around like that, but I can't remember what it was. It was actually on it.
What you should have done is hold it. Have someone else hold you sideways.
Nobody had the energy at that point to lift me up.
We were all dead.
There wasn't enough Larazade in the world to get us.
That Larazade was incredible, though.
Apple Larazade.
So good. I remember just like people kept coming back with boxes of it and like crates and just being like, "There's like 10 more. Have fun."
It's because they had the sponsored event. They were just giving it out, and if anybody walked over and were like, "We're working here. We need some people for the people who are working," they were just like, "Yeah, here you go."
Yeah, I remember Scott sent me on a trip over there. So he was like, "Go get as much as you can carry back," and I was like, "Okay." Came back with like a couple crates of it. I was like, "Where do you want it? Go give it out."
Those people just want to get rid of that stuff because they don't want to take anything with them, right?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, to be fair,
because someone has to take it back.
Fucking bus. They had a bit of storage.
Yeah,
they did have a bus.
It was
dude.
So it was around the it was around the time one of the new Tomb Raider games came out, and they had this double-decker bus with Lara Croft on it.
I was so happy to see that. I was like, yes.
I've got a picture of an army jeep in my head, is what they had, but I guess that was something else.
It was definitely a bus.
It was definitely a bus.
I mean,
but they might have had like an army jeep or something.
It's London.
I mean, I definitely got it all out. They had a white van because I got all the stuff, the crates out of the back of the white van.
All right.
There might just be some childhood trauma that's popping up.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, what's happened to Matt here?
Well,
trauma induces trauma, and that's just
for another podcast, guys.
That's for our always open.
the trauma podcast.
Like, let's go.
I think the first time I met Rachel was when we were wrapping up the posters.
I was just gonna say that was the first time I remember meeting Matt.
We were having a good Disney sing-along.
We sang like
posters.
I dodged that completely.
Dude, it was so fun. Like that was probably
the scene was great.
Best. Yeah,
posted bit not quite as fun, but
Oh, I just took my time. I was just like, if I just roll 1 while everyone else is doing 3, I have less work to do.
So the context of that is all the posters came in like a flat package, and then to sell them, they wanted them stood up, rolled. So one of the jobs we had to do for setup in 2018 was roll every single poster by hand and put a little elastic band around them. Luckily for me, I was helping in the storeroom at the time, so I avoided that. But the vast majority, there are only 3 or 4 of us back there. I think most people were stood hand rolling posters for a good half hour.
That thing only started. I was doing something else at that time. I'm not sure. I think I was like doing some storeroom stuff, right? And
I know some people were like setting stuff up. Yeah.
That sing along started. I wasn't used to anything back then, right? So it started. And I was like, "What the fuck have I signed up for? What's happening right now? What am I doing? Fuck."
They're singing "Be a Man." What the fuck?
Yeah, I was like,
what's happening?
God, this is gonna be a long weekend.
Similar thing.
I loved it. I wasn't sure if I was gonna love it at that point, and I had flown over. It's a fucking flight.
Over in Austin, when I was unhappy at both years, I had to roll posters up before the AH Live and well, it was Let's Play Live the year before. I had to do that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I just remember I got my hands cut so much from the posters.
Oh no!
Because they were rather sharp edges on them, and you don't really know until the end.
Like,
just go and go.
Just keep going. Just keep going.
Well, I guess, Kuhn, you just kind of touched on the fact that you flew from another country. So maybe you want to talk a bit about your origin story with how you ended up. Because at least we're all from the same country the event took place, so it kind of makes sense. But you, yourself?
Well, so it was a thing where I was like, there wasn't much going on in my life, and I figured like, oh, maybe I should like start doing stuff. Like actually start doing stuff. I mean, oh yeah, it's not a happy, fun story. But then I started sort of getting into Rooster Teeth because I only started watching like in 2016, so I'm a little Babby fan. Actually, not Always Open. On the Spot is one of the first shows I actually watch regularly. Yep.
I remember them starting that show.
Yeah, that was rough. That was rough. Yeah.
I think almost everybody else in Store Team would remember them starting that show.
Yeah.
I think.
I went back to it to watch all of it.
Did you actually?
Oh yeah, yeah.
God damn.
And then another friend of mine, he watched Cow Chop.
Okay.
And I sort of jokingly said, like, "Oh, we should go there. Oh, we could go there and sign up as you know, as guardians, so we don't have to pay for tickets." Jokingly, and he went like, "Yeah, right." And I was like, "But yeah, I could just go. I could just actually do that." And then I did.
Good idea.
And I did. And I used the thing of like working in retail. So like, oh, I'd be right for Store Team because I work in retail. Or
I definitely overinflated what I said on my application. I was like,
oh god, yeah.
Used to be in charge of this.
It is bullshit.
Worked for many years in retail.
It's like every CV though. You're like supposed to like pick yourself up a little bit.
Yeah,
exactly. A little.
Same
a little bit.
Same way I got the host position. Just bullshit.
Yeah. Complete bullshit.
My vastly different.
You tell us now. I'm changing my vote.
So
revote. Let's do a recount.
We did a vote for because we had 4 people who wanted to be hosts, and we all did a little pitch message, and one of the lines of my pitch was, I said something about my vastly different background.
Yeah,
something like that. I remember sitting there and being like, "What does he mean by that?"
Woody hated that.
Yeah, Woody was not a fan.
He was not a fan.
What is he doing?
What does it mean? What does it even mean?
Because I'm foreign.
He's saying because he's Dutch. It's like, good damn.
Because he grew up in a different country. That's it.
Right. Yeah. That's the thing. Like that's why I flew over, because I don't actually live in the UK, like everybody else here.
I won't be able to tell at all.
No, right?
You'll be fine after coronavirus. We'll be fine.
Brexit means Brexit.
Let's do it.
I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that now. That's my defense now. Stay over there. We don't need you. And your murder bullets?
Is that also our defense to keep you out as well then?
I mean,
get away, dude. Stranger danger. I've already told you you're not coming to Extra Life, dude. I've already told you you're banned.
genuinely, one of the reasons I signed up as a Guardian initially was because I didn't want to pay for a ticket.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
same.
Absolutely.
And
Also,
then I was like, oh,
I mean, I did also feel kind of like I'm kind of the opposite of Kuhn. I've been watching for a ridiculous amount of years since like
Same.
season 2 or 3 of Red versus Blue.
okay, maybe not.
Which
that
is
I'm not
yeah.
that long either.
So when it finally came this
Chris
side
was
of the pub,
4.
I was like,
Chris was 4 then. At that point.
I mean,
We're actually the same age. I mean,
what are you on about?
What are you doing, buddy?
So I kind of also felt like I owed, because I'd never been a first member or anything, because, well, as Kuhn pointed out, I was a kid for the vast majority of it. I didn't have an income until much closer to the time that I volunteered for the first time. So it was just kind of also felt like a good way to give back, I guess. But also the free ticket was nice.
Like the free ticket's good too.
If I got to see the convention, which I didn't in the first year.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it's
got
also
to see a couple panels in the first year.
I saw part of
Nothing.
part of off topic my first year. I mean, it's also like you go there, you know, you get a free ticket, which you basically don't because you don't get to see everything unless you're happy hour.
Yeah.
Because happy hour is just a free ticket.
Would recommend.
Would recommend. But it's more of an experience, though, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
I mean, going to the convention's fine. It's fun, you know. You can. It's definitely enjoyable.
Yeah.
But it's more of a, I guess, more of a sort of a memorable experience. You know.
Well, at the end of the day, if I went as a attendee, I'd have gone with myself and maybe some friends and wandered around with them, and that would have been it. Whereas going with a Guardian, I ended up meeting all of you guys
This
and
wouldn't-
working with
this
all you
wouldn't
guys.
have happened. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, like
Wait, we could have
It's-
been without Chris. Oh,
made
I know,
such a
right?
crazy difference to like
Yeah, dude.
how everything's gone since that first time. Just because I decided to be a Guardian, and for some reason I decided to come back the year after.
You're like, I'm doing this
And then-
again.
and then
Let's
you fucking
go.
Flew to the United States the year after that.
Yep, and then the year after I flew
Yeah.
to the USA to do that.
worth it though.
Absolutely.
Oh, 100%. Every single year has been worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, being a Guardian was totally worth it. Like, I kind of do regret not doing it in Austin last year, but I'm also like, I wanted to go out there and experience like RTX as because I've been an RT like fan for ages, so I was like, first year in Austin, I'm gonna go out there, enjoy it for the convention, and then the next year, I'm gonna be a Guardian, and then coronavirus happened, so it's been fun. It's been great, you know. It's
Yikes.
fine. Next year,
So
next
yeah,
year, guys.
all 4 of us here were supposed to be Guardians for
Yeah, we all got
this year.
Guardian.
But
Have any of us actually told them we're not going to be Guardians yet?
Not yet.
I'm holding off till I hear what happens with my flights.
It's the same thing. I mean,
yeah,
Yeah.
same. Until
Yeah.
it's 100% a no-go, then
I still don't think RTX is going to happen this year. I think
I mean,
way
looking at what's
Yeah.
happening in the US and especially in Austin, where RTX happens. every
Yeah.
year. Like, I mean, honestly, if it does happen, I'm not sure if that'd be a good idea.
yeah.
it's
Like,
cutting
Yeah, I
close
don't-
now
even
being the
if it
start.
was-
of
Yeah.
September,
even if it
feels
would
like.
technically
Yeah.
be allowed, right? Like, you don't want to get 20,000 people in the same room, you know?
Yeah,
I
like
think-
from different countries as well, all coming in. Like,
Yeah, 'cause so here in the Netherlands,
you have no idea.
Here in the Netherlands, large events are you can't have large events up until the 1st of September, even.
I think we're the same in the UK.
I don't know if they
Don't
put a
know what
date
else
on it
it
here.
is.
Yeah, I think it's just.
I think it's just indefinitely. Yeah,
Which is
At the moment, the rule here is just like follow these rules until we tell you not to. There isn't a date
Yeah.
on it. There isn't a minimum or a max. There's,
they just
it's just like do this.
they set a date. Like the September thing is for large events, and then there's like hospitality stuff, right? Like bars and restaurants and stuff. They set a date for it, which when they announced it sounded ridiculous. It was the 1st of June.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's insane, right?
wow.
And now it's May.
And then
Yeah.
that's what they said. They said we just want to push that date as far back as possible, just to make sure that everybody knows what's going on, and we don't have to keep extending it. And you know, we're probably going to end up lifting it sooner than that, but just so everyone can, you know, it's May now. It's definitely
Yeah.
not going to be.
I'm
Ah,
afraid that
cool.
theatres and like restaurants and stuff could be closed until next year,
Yeah, yeah.
which
I mean,
is insane.
what they've been saying that our prime minister has been saying, he's been calling it an intelligent lockdown, as in like we're doing a lockdown but not an actual lockdown, right? Because that's what's
Yeah.
that's what's happened in what's that?
Who is your Prime Minister?
Mark Rutte.
Rutte.
Yeah.
Sounds
Did that help, Matt?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, Matt. How did you not know that,
Yeah.
Matt? What are you doing, dude?
Sorry, I thought it was the other guy.
Yeah, the other one.
Piers Lindenberg.
Monica Lewinsky. That's what I
Not
thought
even
it
a Dutch
was.
name. It's just
Did you say Monica Lewinsky?
No, it's fine. As soon as like Kuhn said that name, I was like, Monica Lewinsky. I was like, I have no idea what he just said.
It didn't even. It wasn't even close.
It's not even close.
His first name's literally just.
I don't know.
His first name's
I
just
don't
The
know.
only
Mark.
similarity
You know
is
the
the
name
first
Mark.
letter of the first name.
Yeah, Monica.
know the name
It's close
Mark.
to Monica. It's close to Monica. It's fine.
Oh, fucking hell.
Last name. What's his last name?
Rutte.
Yeah.
Lewinsky. Yeah. See, there we go. Monica Lewinsky. There we go.
R-U-T-T-E.
I'm sure Lewinsky has an R in there somewhere.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Where does Lewinsky have an R in?
I don't know.
You could have said E.
Sure, it has an E in there
You could have
somewhere.
said
Yeah,
E. You could have said E. You could have said anything.
has an E in it. There
That's
you go.
literally the
Has an
only
E in
one,
it.
by the way.
Good
There you go. I
enough.
fixed it.
I don't think there's any
Fixed
digging
it.
your way out of this one. I think yeah, you're 6 feet
Thanks.
under.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Rachel's
Bury me down. Let's go. Come on. I'm ready.
There's a reason her name sounds so much like a racist. Because she's racist against Dutch people.
Yeah, there's a H in there somewhere.
Rachel.
Righteous?
So about RTX.
You're pushing
Yeah,
it
okay.
like as far as she was then. It's not even close.
So RTX.
Yeah. Origin story. We got a bit sidetracked. there.
We're pretty much, yeah, RTX, we're all Guardians, Star Team. We all kind of met each other at different times.
It is
The
a bit
thing
of a
we
clusterfuck.
sort of met
Yeah.
each other at the same time, but I definitely don't like. If you were to tell me what Rachel had been doing, I wouldn't know, right?
The thing is, I was on Tills for some of it, and I don't remember seeing you at all, but I was next to Potter.
Well, the till area was much bigger, and it
Yeah.
had people facing different directions as well. It
Yeah,
wasn't
we're
like
mostly
the
better.
straight line, was it?
Yeah,
was
it wasn't like-
blocks.
Yeah.
So unless you were, so it was 2 sets of 6, and unless you were in a set of 6 with the same person, you probably wouldn't have had a clue. No.
Yeah, no. But then I was at the exit near Coon, because I remember being stood near Woody for the other half of it. So I was like, how did I not see
Woody
Coon
moved.
at all?
I think I remember you.
Ah, did he?
But he wasn't in the same place all weekend.
And so did Anna, I think.
Anna moved too. Yeah.
I mean, so did I.
There were a few people who stuck to the same seat over the weekend, but in general, it was mostly
Rotating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But then the crazy thing is the people who I did sort of hang out with and definitely 100% recall being there and knowing what they were doing, I don't speak to them at all. Because they're from Discord, right? Because Phelps. him,
Toby.
Toby.
Toby Leroy.
Toby Leroy.
Toblerone.
I hung out with him a lot. Never spoke to him again. And then there was his friend as well.
Yeah.
Damien.
Damien, yeah, Demo.
Yeah, I spoke to those two quite a bit as well.
I
But
don't remember Damien.
I spoke to. He was in.
both of them
stock.
were like, they were both like pure stock for like the entire weekend.
Yeah.
And if you
Wow.
needed something from the stock room, I
Damien.
knew I could go to Damien and get an answer
Oh,
and
absolutely.
like
And he-
exactly
Yeah.
what it was.
Like, he was one of the people
Really
that
helpful.
making sure that fucking pack up at the end worked out so well.
Yeah.
Because he was on it. Dude, he was...
He was really good.
Well, they're both military, aren't they? Both work in the Navy.
I think so.
I imagine that rubbed
I
off a
mean-
little bit.
I mean, I guess, but like... They're both like engineers, aren't they?
I don't know. I guess you go
They're
through the
both
same
engineers.
basic training though, don't you? No
I
matter what
don't
you
know if you get
do.
basic training if you're just in an office.
Yeah, you do. My mates are
Yeah, you definitely do. Yeah.
in
Hmm.
the army or is it the navy? One of the two.
Hmm.
He had to go basic
A
training.
couple of my friends, one's recently gone for the basic training for the RAF, and the other's gone for the army. So I'm assuming Navy would do the same. They are slightly different trainings from what I got from them, but having not done it myself, I'm not 100% sure. Obviously,
I'd like to point out, by the way, that it might not look like it, but Chris does actually have a body. He isn't just a neck and a head.
He's not the
He's
face.
just a little head.
There's a
He's
lot
like
of
so
neck.
like,
There's
There's a lot of neck, but it's not
shoulders,
He's our swan
He's
boy.
he's present.
majestic.
A little long neck boy.
I also remember Nathan because he was one of the people pointing people to the tills, right?
Yes.
They had the sign and everything.
Nathan,
Sugar Daddy Nathan.
Jem?
Sugar Daddy.
Yeah, Sugar Daddy Nathan. Nathan, Jem, and Rory, I think, were doing that.
Rory made his little he made his own job. I don't know.
Hey,
Rory just
Rory's
decided
like hype.
he made like a cardboard sign to point people because the tills were so long and from where the queue was. When the person organising the queue at the one end was like, "Oh, there's a queue free down there," the person would just start walking aimlessly down, just like,
It's like, I'm going.
what? So Rory made a big sign that just said like "here" on it or something with an arrow, and then he would just like he would help the person there and just hype everybody to come down to the tills and buy their stuff. He was like, "That's a cool thing to buy." Yeah.
So
Like, oh.
what was great about that was I was set right by the point where people would come into sort of the till area and they'd be pointing, so I could just look at the person and go like, yeah, here. But every time Jemima would sit there pointing people in the right direction, every time because she set names of people, you can go there to Woody or there to Anna. Every time she pointed someone to me, she'd go, you can go there to him. And then at some point she came up to me, like, I'm not going to say your name, I'm sorry. It's like, okay.
It was Lane in America.
It was Lane in America. He came up to me. He was like, "I'm not going to say your name, dude."
Like, no, you're not doing it.
It was also like they probably wouldn't have realized if you guys wouldn't have made such a fucking point out of it. Because we had in Austin we had a safety meeting.
Oh, that was such a good meeting.
That was really funny.
Shouldn't have been. We were talking about getting shot and talking about mass shootings. You were just fucking laughing your asses off.
You guys might have been. We were messaging each other.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I fucking figured. Also,
I mean,
like
we were listening very attentively to the entire thing.
So there was a point as well, which sort of ties into RTX L a bit more, but there's one like the first rule of RTX, which differs based on which country you're in. Because in RTX L, it was rule number 1 was don't be a dick. And then we went to Austin, and they asked, "What's rule number 1?" And then this entire like auditorium, at the exact same time, went, "Be respectful."
And then there was just us. There was like a small group of us who went, "Don't be a dick."
And people turned around. They were upset. I'm like, what?
We were like, wait, we thought that was the answer.
I thought that was it.
To be
got
fair,
told this gesture.
in our defense, "Don't be a dick" does cover "be respectful," because if you're not being respectful, you're being a dick. It also covers other things as well. So I think our rule is better.
I agree.
It's definitely more British.
So many people turned around because we weren't in like the front row or anything. We were like a fair few rows back, and so many people turned around and looked in our direction, and we were dying with laughter.
So good.
I remember you guys coming back from that meeting and just pissing yourselves laughing, just being like, "Look at this fucking chat." And we were just chatting shit for the entire meeting. It's like, oh my god, what are you guys doing?
It was a very different experience. Austin was, without a doubt, very different.
Yeah.
But we'll leave more of that for.
Leave Austin for another time.
Yeah.
We're gonna run out of content if we talk about it now.
Did we have a safety meeting for RTXL?
No.
Yeah,
Not that I can
isn't there like
remember.
there's an in-team one? Like Scott did a little quick thing. It's not like everybody gets together like in Austin.
I just can't
Scott did
remember.
it. Who here has safety training? Put your hands up. Cool. If you have an issue, go to them because I'm not going to be too fucking busy to be bothered with this.
Yeah, that's what
Bye.
happened. That's what happened.
See you later.
Yep.
Fair enough.
You also they also make sure you have to do the we all did the safety briefing for the Excel Center as well, because that's the security guys from the Excel Center who come and do the talk.
I remember
And
that.
at that point they also go through your Guardian handbook for like what to call,
Was that-
what alarm mean what, and
Yeah,
everything, which is basically the same thing.
Was that the first day when we were?
It just doesn't touch on like
It was.
mass
also-
shootings, which is
that was
something
on the-
Austin does touch on.
Surprisingly.
Oh, that was in the. That was where the bitches were.
They do go on about bomb threats. Yep, that is something.
Yeah,
you
they
can
did
get.
talk about bomb threats because it's like Mr. Green or something like that. If you hear a call from Mr. Green is lost or something, then it's a bomb threat. And if you hear Mr. Green's been found, you're all good. Something
Yeah,
like
there
that. It's just
were
like,
code words and stuff. I can't remember what they are.
yeah, I
but-
I mean, right now they're probably more worried about.
Also, no mention of smoking.
Virus.
Oh, right now the Excel Centre's a hospital, isn't it?
Yeah.
Temporary hospital. So
It's like being shut down. I think now. I think they're like suspending it. I think they're good.
They shut down the Birmingham one because they had literally no.
the
cases
NEC,
there.
wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I think the London.
It made
one-
sense to do it though in prep, in case it was needed.
Someone in chat. Guru.
If you think you found a bomb, don't use a radio. Yeah, that's fair. We have to do that
Just
a
fucking
lot.
run. Just
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
run.
Don't use.
That's what we get taught on like events and stuff. It's like if you see a bomb, run as far away as you can and then report it. Don't be a fucking hero. Don't do any shit because you're gonna get yourself killed.
Same
Basically.
with fires, unless it's like
Yeah.
a tiny little one and you know what you're doing. Just
I mean, the
fucking
radio,
leave it.
the radio
Yeah.
thing is just because of like.
Yeah, I mean-
magnetism and
Frequencies,
stuff,
right?
You're gonna
Yeah.
set off.
You don't know
something.
how it's activated.
Activated.
Yeah.
It's such a minuscule chance of that happening. It's crazy.
What really
Yeah,
stood out
man.
to me, speaking of like, just to go back to Austin, just a little. The thing about the mass shooting was like, the one thing they said, which I'd never thought about, was put your phone on mute.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
'Cause
Right.
if you're
okay.
hiding, your phone goes off. Like, oh,
Yeah.
fair enough.
My phone is always on like vibrate or mute.
Yeah, mine's on vibrate.
Yeah,
Mine
Here's
is.
mine's
the
on
thing.
vibrate all the
Here's the
time.
thing. Is this just a little slider? And whenever my screen just turned to a different color. Look, it's automatic darkness
It's
colors.
trying to like
It's
contrast.
Oh,
automatic
God.
darkness colors.
Ugh.
But like if I put this in my pocket, it automatically goes to sound.
Oh.
If you can,
That's
like,
so
if,
God,
you,
that's
if you
Just get a
bad.
better
if
phone.
you slide it down,
Yeah.
the sound goes. It turns on.
That sounds awful.
That's horrible. What the fuck?
Yep.
So what I'm hearing is don't hide with Coon in a mass shooting.
Yeah, get
Go
as
far away from
as
Coon.
possible.
Send Coon to the other end of the Excel Center and just be like, bye Coon, have fun.
Bye.
Bye, buddy.
Bye.
Okay, on a slight segue,
Mhm.
Chris, was it you who ran into Gus in the bathroom? Was that
No, that. Oh,
Who was that? I remember.
I
that.
remember. No, wasn't it? Jake ran into Matt Hullum
someone ran into Gus in the
because
bathroom?
he went. Yeah, because they had specific bathrooms upstairs for us to
Mhm.
use, and for some reason Matt Hullum was in there because I don't know. I guess he was just needed to go. But it was only them two in there, and it took. I remember Jake telling the story and saying it took him a minute to realize who it was, but at that point he was already stood next to him at a urinal, and clearly Matt noticed Jake realizing who he was, and he went, "Well, we've all got our trousers down at some point, mate," and then just left, and then just walked out.
Oh,
That's incredible.
I'd like to think he actually said trousers. Even though that Holland definitely is not.
Yeah, he probably said pants, but no,
Probably
yeah,
said shorts
by default
and things.
changed it to trousers.
I had a
Oh.
thing where I walked out of the bathroom there, and so the doors, not to the actual bathroom, but to the sort of hallway that the bathrooms were off
Yeah,
of.
yeah.
It had windows in the doors that led to this giant hallway that goes all the way up and down the Excel Center. And I'm about to walk out the door, and I see Jack Patillo walk by the window. It's like, oh, cool, yeah, that's Jack. I open the door, go back to sort of the actual conventional. So I turn to my left, and literally everybody just passes by me. It's like,
It's like, ooh. It's like,
Hi.
hey.
first off, you. And like that was my first year, so I actually cared. And then my second year, when I went to RTX Austin, I just couldn't care less. I was just get out of my fucking way. I have stuff to do. It's like
I need to go here and do this. Thank you very much.
There's an easy way to sort of demonstrate that. Is
Oh, your badges.
Oh, your
Yeah.
badges, yeah.
Oh
It's
yeah.
all his signatures on one, and they're not on the other.
this is RTX London 2018, which has
Yeah.
signatures on it. I'm not even sure whose they are anymore because some of them are just,
No idea now.
completely
No idea.
illegible. I mean, Jack just writes his name, and then this,
Figure
That's
that
the way to do it, man. That is
Yeah.
the right way.
Write your name, you'll be fine.
this is the year after.
Thank you.
Pristine.
Like,
Oh, those
Nothing
badges
on
are so
there.
annoying as well, though.
Huh? What's
which
that?
ones?
The Austin ones, because they're the same colour as the bloody attendee
Yeah,
ones.
it was.
Yeah, I remember that.
So dumb.
I remember
So
like
dumb.
It was a
I was
poor
just like-
choice. It was the
it's
same
like, do you reckon I
colour.
could get in? Like, I remember when it was the after party for
I'm also Jason. Is this mirrored
for the
for
Guardian
you?
party. Like, I can sneak in. No, it's strong
I
bright.
think it's mirrored for
Yeah.
stream.
Yeah. It might be hanging a little
Mine's
bit.
the only one that's
Yeah, it's mirrored.
Mirrored.
Mine's
Mirrored.
definitely mirrored
It is mirrored.
as well.
So for you,
It's like,
not for me.
oopsie.
So you're not mirroring the stream.
No, it looks normal for me.
Like on stream, your closet is on the right. Your shelves are on the right.
Because you're so American. Closet.
Oh my god,
Closet.
closet. Ew,
Closet.
closet.
I always sound American.
Ew. God damn it.
Yeah, you do.
Because you spend so much time like around Americans. Were you going to say, Chris?
All the time. I was going to say, like, I kind of agree with what Kuhn said the first year in 2017. At the end, after doing, like, everything we'd done for the full thing, when we had that opportunity to, like, meet cast members and talk to them and stuff like that, it was, like, a really... I don't know, it was, like, a big moment. Big moment makes it sound, like, life-changing or anything.
It was
It wasn't,
definitely a thing.
it wasn't like that. It was, like, really nice and I cared about,
You get a
like,
bit starstruck.
talking to everybody. And then a year later... At 2018, when we were at the end, I was like, I know how much pack up we have to do, and I just kind of like turned around and left. I was just
It's
like,
like,
See,
I've got to
see
go
you
back.
later,
over
I'm
there.
done.
My
And
fucking
it's like,
my pictures with the cast members I took pictures with. If you look at me, I'm so fucking. I look so fucking nervous. I'm just there at
Bless you.
taking this picture, like
I,
it was. So, and I posted them all on Facebook. It was still on there. But like,
I remember after Austin last year, I was more interested in the free stuff which was left over that they were giving away. Because I remember I got you a Guardian shirt.
I got a Guardian shirt, yeah.
Rich
You got-
a Guardian shirt as well.
I think you got Rich one of the special edition, like, commemorative badges that they did. I remember you bringing home tons of them, and Rich went, yeah, I want one of them.
Yeah, I still
Yeah.
got those.
they were the
I love
sort of
that.
more oval ones, weren't
Yeah, the little, like, oval ones, yeah.
I ended up with a load of the same poster, and I was just like, oh boy.
they? I mean, I think all I sort of took home after RTX L 2018 was
This is like
Yeah,
all
I think
America.
all I-
None of this is like
That's
RTXL.
it. So I took one of the first boxes. They were doing a thing back then where they were selling this. I mean, like every company does one of these like subscription boxes where you get a bunch of loot every month. And RTX was doing it. It was like when you had a double first membership or something. Or
Yeah.
Recently was doing it. When you had a double first membership, you get a first box or whatever. And they were selling them, I think, trying to get people to sign up for double first. Or
Yeah, it was. If
Yeah.
you signed up for
Yeah.
double first, you got the box there. They could
had
just
a
give it to you.
They had
Yeah, but I'd
about
be like, there you go, have fun.
400 left of those. Like
There was so many.
So many.
So
And
we all got
at some
some.
point. Yeah,
Yeah.
they just said take as many as you can carry. We
Yeah.
don't want these.
We grabbed so many that I was just like handing them out to people in the pub because some of the people who were in the
remember that.
pub after we left,
Yeah.
they were just attendees who were like, oh, they were really nice to us. They like clap us when we turned up at the pub when they realised we'd just
Yeah.
finished work at
I think
Guardians,
we've just
and we were all hauling these huge bags of stuff. And I just like opened a bunch of it, and I was like, I don't want this, whatever. Here you go, mate. You can have this. You can have this, whatever. And just like
Santa at Christmas chucking things at people.
it felt like really good. It did feel like that. I remember thinking that because it was like Monica was like buying a round of drinks for everybody who was there.
Yeah.
It was just a good moment because we were done. Everyone was feeling good. I was getting free booze and I
It
was
was
giving
really
stuff out
happy
to
moment.
people, and I was just like, "This is great. This is really
I wish I would
nice."
have been there.
Hmm?
I wish I would have been there. I just sort of
Yeah,
went back and went
a lot of
to-
people missed out on that at the end,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
You know, I grabbed a box for because my happy hour team were there. So I grabbed a box for each one of those.
Aw,
which
bless
was
you.
about 6 of them, and then like 4 or 5 extra ones. And then I think I stood on a table and just like chucking the boxes out.
I remember like coming down the stairs because I was a little bit behind you guys, and just seeing Matt sit at the table, just like throwing things at people, and I was like, "This is the chaos we have come to. Great, perfect. I'm ready. Let's go."
Mate, it was
The,
fun.
the community is
Wow.
great for the appreciation, though. Like I said about, I know
Yeah.
we had merch that we were giving out to them, so of course they were like grateful, but they were
Like,
grateful
yay!
before that just for being Guardians. And I'm sure, well, you guys at least have seen, and Kuhn was there when we left RTX Austin, and they were literally
Yeah.
filming. There were a bunch of attendees outside who spent the entire of that last afternoon, evening, just stood outside waiting for Guardians to finish and leave, and just clapping them
That was nice.
as they left.
I wasn't
Mad.
expecting
I
it,
remember
but that
seeing
was
that video.
good.
No, yeah.
Rory,
It was cool, dude.
Let's not talk about anything else that has to do with that.
yeah, but
With Austin.
Rory, what was the sincere Trevor Barbara moment you interrupted?
They were breaking up.
Oh, I think I remember Ruri telling me about
They were
this.
breaking up. Ruri walked in.
Wasn't Barbara really ill when she was at
She was
RTX?
really ill,
She
yeah.
had like a stomach thing, didn't she?
She was probably
She
just
had
telling him she
something, yeah.
needed a shit.
Like, please help me. Please.
Well, that she already
It
had.
is leaking out.
Oh, man, I don't want to picture
It's a
that.
really sincere moment.
No.
Boy, we're going to Trevor.
Very sincere
Shit
moment of
myself.
just like,
Fucking shat myself. Think of a lie.
Okay.
Tell him I'm sick. I don't care. I shat myself. Rory's just sat there.
it's like,
I was kind of like waiting for Rory to tell the story.
He's filming it. Like, oh,
It's like, I'm ready, I'm here.
posting it on Twitter. Hashtag goal. Hashtag relationship goals.
Just like ready for it. Dude, I remember Ryan fucking Harewood hitting me on the back of the head by accident. So
By
they were all,
accident?
so me, by accident, he was
Rachel,
like,
he's
"Go
married."
get her."
With a closed fist.
Rachel, he's married.
It was straight in his face, actually. It wasn't even in the back of the head, it was straight in the
She was in
face.
his hotel room.
So it was me, Mackenzie, and Morgan walking back from the toilets, and I
Wow.
think it was like right towards
Right,
the
no,
end.
right.
Yeah, it's like,
It
what?
was you, Mackenzie, and Morgan in Ryan Haywood's hotel room.
Yeah, we're all sat in Ryan Harewood's hotel room, chilling out now.
He's naked.
We're upstairs. God damn it. We're all upstairs, and they were like lined up in 2 rows, all just talking to each other like a bunch of RT people. And we all like scurry past, and Ryan was like putting his hand out to do something and just whacked me on the back of the head. And I was like, shell shocked, and just they're all looking at me, and I just like walked away, like, bye. I guess I won't to see Rooster Teeth. It's fine. See you later. And just like walked away. I was like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I was like, oh my god.
Damn.
So that was my claim to fame right there. I should have sold the hat I was wearing. I could have made a fortune. Could have made a mint on it.
I was hit by Ryan.
You could probably sell it to
Like,
Hazel.
just
Hazel
Ryan
will take
Harewood.
it.
Hazel, if you're in the chat, do you want my the hat that Ryan Harewood has touched? Can't promise there's any DNA still on it, but you never know. You never know.
So after the box, where did we go after the box?
We went to the
We
hotel.
went to the Ibis. Was it the hotel that was it? I think it was the bar for the Ibis.
Wait.
Because it was the upstairs bar,
which one?
and we all stood outside for a little bit. And
Yeah,
they
we
told
went out
us
to
that
the
we need to
balcony.
be quiet.
Yeah, I
Yeah, and they
remember.
were like, we need to be quiet.
Was
And I
that-
kept getting
And we blamed Line's team because Line's and Store were outside, and we just
Yeah.
blamed.
Yeah, just
Because I was at
all them.
I stayed in Ibis, but I think it was one like a bit further away from the Excel Center.
I also did, but
Yeah.
it was not the one that we
I stayed
we
at the
went to
one.
drink at.
I stayed at the one right next to the XL, but
I stayed by the Ibis budget, like by the airport.
I think I did like
I did that the year before. I did the travel lodge at the airport, and it's like a 15-minute walk.
Yeah, that was the first year. The second year I was in the
definitely-
10-person coffin with everybody.
Like, ooh,
I
I
can't
remember
believe-
hearing about that, and I was like,
Those are
that's a
definitely-
hellhole.
So those are definitely cheaper, but planes.
Oh, it was real cheap.
But planes. Like
I went back to that hotel room drunk every night. I didn't.
Was it passed out?
The planes
Never
didn't
hear him.
Yeah, I'm not.
So
I don't sleep well.
Ruri replied.
Ooh,
He
that's a
says,
fucking story.
I was just reading it.
I was going to say, who wants to read it out?
Go on, Rich, you can do it.
You can do it right.
Okay, so Ruri said, I'm not.
Impression.
I can't do Scottish. I can't. I can do drunk. I can do drunk.
I can do
Go on,
Scottish.
Coon. You do it. Go on,
Can
buddy.
you do chaos?
Go on,
Good
dude.
fries, Bobby.
Do chaos.
Good
Go on,
fries,
fucking
Bobby.
bread fries,
This is
Bobby.
an awful idea.
Right, here we go. Go on, Coon. Got it. Go on, you gotta do it now.
No, you put me on the spot now. No, I'm not gonna do
Gotta
it.
do it.
I know,
Gotta do it.
Ooh, I was in the toilet for a drink.
There we go. There we go. There we go. Nailed it.
I mean, if anyone
Nailed it.
can do Scottish, surely it's going to be Chris because he
Yeah.
is part Scottish.
It's
No, see, that's
Scottish.
why I'm staying silent because I cannot do a Scottish accent.
Wait, you're
The only time there's any Scottish twang to my accent is if I've spent time up there with my family.
Mhm.
By the end of like the week or week and a half I'm up there, some words that I say have like a bit to it.
Oh,
Because
No,
they'll
but
all
that's
point it
Scottish.
out. They'll all be like, "Are you taking the piss out of us?"
I have that
You know
issue.
what?
Like, if I go somewhere for like about a week, I will pick up that accent, and I just can't help it. Like in Austin, I think I was getting slightly more Americanized.
I also think
You
I was doing
definitely
the
use
same
more
thing, yeah.
Americanisms. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just wherever I go. I went to uni in Wales for 3 years.
Ooh.
Definitely had a slang then.
Oh my
God.
He still has the best conversation with a bunch of sheep every now and then.
I know, it's just like, hey buddy, how you doing?
Wait, you talk to the sheep?
He's just, like, frustrated.
He just pays them when he's done with them.
He just buys him a drink and there you go, he's good. It's like, here you go, little one.
Just saying, I'm not Welsh by birth, though, so, you know.
Fair enough, yeah. You
Don't
only do it when you're dead.
It's even worse. You're Welsh by proxy.
He was just trying
worse.
to.
By choice.
He just wanted to experience the culture while he was there. That's all.
He wanted to meet the locals.
What's the Welsh culture again?
I believe
gollywog?
getting drunk. The number of times I've been in Cardiff and seen absolutely smashed people in the daytime.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it, man. Yep.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
sometimes.
I mean, I had that with when I went to RTXL, because at that point I didn't really speak English regularly up until I met you guys, right? So I sort of started to. I noticed that I was starting to do a sort of British accent for some reason, and I realized that it was
British accent.
What?
I don't know, just like a sort of generic, broken, not really British accent.
Please tell me it was Cockney.
Oh my god, just doing an
But,
Essex
like,
accent.
It was like my pronunciation was getting worse because of that. And then at the end of the week, I was like, I shouldn't do that. I just do what I normally do when I speak English, which is this weird sort of half American, half speech impediment.
Oh no! Oh no!
Am I wrong though?
To be fair, I haven't heard
I
it.
mean, but that happens, right? You just sort of.
None
gotta
of us
pick
can
up the
speak a
accent.
second language, so we're kind of right.
Yeah,
Unless-
but
like,
like we're
I
meant
can
to,
say a few words in French.
yeah, same. That'll
mean,
be it.
If we keep
yeah.
going with this Harry Potter stream, you're going to be fluent in Dutch, Chris.
Oh,
Be
God.
ready for it, Chris.
Hey,
It'll be
wait,
great.
part 2 this weekend, mate. It's coming.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Fucking-
I'm excited to actually watch it. It's gonna be good.
Excuse me, do
So
you not
funny.
watch all of our streams, Rachel?
Yeah. Oh no. What? Yes, I do.
You need
Watch
to.
When
every
you-
single last one
I
of
mean,
them.
you need to find quotes we could make shirts out of, right? I mean,
I
you need to
know,
get
right?
on point.
Hey, you know.
We've
It's
gotta get the
graphics
merch
team, you know.
going.
Gotta get
Hey,
them.
we've
mean-
all got
out, man.
experience in a store now. We can sell our
Yeah, we
merch
can do it.
easy,
There we
right?
go.
And with our vastly different backgrounds.
Yeah.
Honestly, if anyone should be watching it, it's Mia.
Cool,
Yeah, that's
Mia.
true.
Mia is our designated HR person.
Yeah.
And seeing as this is the first podcast, this could have been a HR disaster.
It could have been. It could have been an absolute disaster.
It definitely got
It
close.
still could be.
Oh,
There's, you know,
So you never know. You never know. You never know when a
know.
HR disaster is around the corner. Just never know.
I mean,
Mia
with us-
always has to be prepared with us,
Yeah.
though.
Oh yeah, she does.
She had like initiation by hellfire that broke out, and like just like joining us and pack up.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
still
I
don't
guess
remember being
that's-
near there. I still do not remember that.
I do.
Do you-
I
I mean,
remember
guess
her.
so
I
what
remember
didn't
her.
help was that she had a different. She was blonde then, wasn't she?
She was blonde, yeah. Just be like, who is this
Yeah, she was.
person?
So I guess we can,
Go get
while
free
Matt runs
Well,
to
Matt
the
goes to
loo,
pee.
Why not?
we can touch on the. We've talked a lot about store, but there are actually a few of us who aren't store, and it's not
Yeah.
like
So, Matt just said in our Discord chat that he's
going
to
to
the
the loo
bathroom.
quickly.
Go into
yeah.
the loo.
You could've
Go
just
into the loo
said
very
that.
quickly.
Because you said
He could have.
there's no reason.
have.
Now we just
He
left
could have.
without saying anything.
He didn't want everyone to know that he was going to the loo, okay? He was like, I want it to be secret. Tell them there's like a parcel at the door or something. It's fine. They can't know that I pee.
At like
can't
10
know.
o'clock at night, someone's
Yeah, and I'm like, oh
it's
my
his friend
god.
Hermes.
His friend
Hermes is
Hermes.
coming round again. I don't know what he's doing.
So there's a thing where Matt is really posh, and at some point, who was it? It was Mia who ordered a Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was
Yeah.
horrified at the fact that it was being delivered by Hermes, and which is apparently a thing.
It's a delivery company.
Very bad.
The courier company that's
Matt
really
was
bad.
Matt was in a
will
Discord
grow.
chat with us as well, and he just goes, "Who's Hermes?"
So confused.
And we destroyed him at the fact that he thought Hermes was a person, and he's posh enough to actually think that Hermes.
Someone
is a
would be called
someone-
Hermes.
Yeah,
Yes,
so she's like, who's this Hermes coming round, dropping you off the Switch?
fucking Hermes.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Hermes? He's my mate.
Hermes.
No, it's your mate.
Little you.
It's your your postal
Right.
service worker mate, Hermes.
I
Your
still...
little buddy.
Huh?
Just your little buddy. Your buddy works up to the door and is like, here you go, sir. And it's just on like a nice little like pillow. It's like, here you go. Here's your
He actually
delivery.
works for UPS.
I answer the door. I don't answer the door.
Oh, sorry, the butler goes to the
Right,
door
yeah.
and it's like, here you go.
Jeez, get it right,
Butler,
Rich.
the
It's like,
maitre,
sir, your parcel is here. Here you go.
the maitre d', the fucking
Maitre d'.
the
Not
doorman.
a restaurant.
Someone stood
no,
outside
fine.
like his gate, like, yes, you may come in. You may come
See,
in.
that's a great thing. I can just whenever I say something really fucking stupid, that I was definitely aware of the fact that it was really stupid. I can just say, I don't know, language barrier.
I'm Dutch. I'm Dutch, guys. It's fine.
I'm Dutch. I'm constantly high.
I don't know what I'm saying.
It's in your blood.
It's in my blood. Definitely is. That's racist.
So much.
So about
So back to RTX.
RTX,
Oh.
yeah, I was when we're talking about the merch stuff. Like I've bought 2 pieces of merch, right? I've bought this hoodie and then a long sleeve shirt. I have a bunch of shit. I have a bunch of shit. Like the hat I have. I think I picked up that was actually my sort of item week. So you don't really get paid as a guardian, but you can sort of pick an item if you want to, right?
Yeah.
From the store. Up to a certain amount.
Yeah. You can have like the nice figurines they had.
Not the really
Yeah.
nice
Those are
ones.
Not the big
Yeah.
ones though. Those were
No,
ridiculous.
they were like,
I mean-
you cannot have them.
For me, I think for me and for you as well, right, Chris? It was generally like we didn't, all of the sort of more expensive stuff we didn't really like, so we just ended up getting anything. Like I got a couch up hat.
I think in both times at London I got shirts, and in Austin I got the. Wait, oh no, I didn't.
We got
What the hell did I get?
we got the tiki mug.
We got the tiki mugs.
Good tiki mugs,
Same,
didn't you?
we got matching mugs.
Yeah, dude, I really wanted one of them. I really badly
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
one
I
of
don't
them.
actually use them, but they're so good.
Yeah, that. I was gonna say, do I have to get mine? It's over there. I get it.
Yeah, really nice.
What?
Yeah, I think I got a hat and t-shirts because, I mean, I only used like a third of the budget I could have.
Yeah.
You know what
Because
else? There's something else I have that I don't think I should tell the story of, but
Is it this?
Full moon
No.
balls.
Yeah, it's that.
I was just thinking the exact same thing.
Shouldn't
This
my
little
I
guy
thought of
wrote.
that earlier and I was like,
you should not tell that story.
it's fine too.
Well,
The
if we
Austin one.
if we tell that story, it's going to be in the Austin one because that's where
It'll be
they're
in the
from.
Austin one.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Story for a different day, maybe.
Sorry for a different
If
day.
Mia's okay with it.
Maybe.
It's a great
If
story,
HR
to be fair.
gives us the go ahead.
Yeah.
It's just like, you can do it. It's fine. What's the statute of limitations on that? What do you reckon it is? What do you reckon? Like, no more.
That makes it sound really bad, Ray.
I know, right? To
We
be fair, it
didn't
does make it sound
steal
really bad.
anything from-
It is not that bad at all.
We didn't steal anything.
Fine.
We didn't steal anything from Rooster Teeth.
No.
Yeah, you didn't steal anything from Rooster
No,
Teeth.
no,
Martin,
we
on the
didn't-
other
we-
hand.
No, Martin didn't steal anything from Rooster Teeth.
No.
No, it's
No,
fine.
nobody did. We're not
Fine,
joking,
nobody
Ray.
did.
We're
Nobody's
not.
getting by that.
Martin actually,
Nobody did it, guys. It's fine. Nobody did it.
Mitchell, it's actually.
I understand. I get it.
Stop it. We actually didn't steal anything, okay? It's fine. It's just that we killed, all of us, we joined together and killed a man using moonballs. We just stood around him, the 4 of us, just bashing him to death.
Just chanting, like,
And like, I
hoping and
didn't
praying.
show the part with the bloodstains on it, and that's what we sort of had to get.
And then the
But we
moonball
can't say
gods
that
come
story
down.
yet, because, it might incriminate us.
So I think
as
my
long as-
free thing was heist. There you go,
Oh,
bringing it back.
oh,
yeah.
big
I know, I
oof.
made a mistake with
Yeah.
that, to be fair. It was
It's not that
Okay.
it's a bad game. It's just not worth
it's so,
the effort, I guess.
it's such a long setup. Like,
Yeah.
I've tried to set it up at least, 3 or 4 times, and every time I've just been like, it's been an hour, we're not, it's still, setting up. I'm
That's
excited,
one of the
it's
things
fine.
we tried to do in Manchester
Yeah,
because there was
Yeah.
20 of us in this place. We did get a big Airbnb for that.
got a huge
Now,
one,
you
yeah.
say big Airbnb. There were a lot of rooms, but it wasn't necessarily big.
Okay, there was enough space, ish.
Yeah,
There was enough space.
Yeah.
But you guys went to a different room to try and play heist,
not
and you were
all-
there
we tried our best.
for ages, and everyone
Mhm.
was just getting progressively more drunk and doing other things and messing around, and you guys were locked in this other room trying to play heist.
Yeah.
We came to get to you because people were going to order food or something,
Mhm.
and you hadn't even played the game yet.
No.
It had been close to 2 hours or something.
Yeah.
It was
D&D
crazy.
as well.
What's that?
No, people managed to play D&D. They went
Yeah, yeah.
upstairs and
Yeah.
played
We did that
for
on the Sunday.
I
Yeah,
mean-
I
Was it
ran
2
the one shot.
I was in
Yeah.
the first group for the one shot Chris did.
Yeah.
Or store team one shot. Chris did a sort of store team themed one shot.
Yeah, I did a short one-shot for everybody themed around being a guardian in the store team at RTX.
I'm still gutted I never got to play that. I still want to do it.
But the
One
thing is,
day.
he wanted to do.
I did try and get the second group through it, but
He wanted
it's
to do,
difficult not in purpose.
He wanted to do
Yeah.
2 of them in one night, and we ended up like because we wanted to do it before dinner, before tea, as Rachel says.
For tea, yeah.
We ended up around.
We started at like 3 in the afternoon or something.
Did we? Because I remember like.
But we went for like 5.5 hours.
You guys were gone for
I think it was
ages.
even more than that.
Fair
enough. So that would have been around 8 when we quit. Yeah, that's fine. That's fair. And then we tried. And then we tried to order pizza.
And no, that was the night before. We just walked to Mackey's at that point. The day before, we tried to order pizza.
I was so disappointed because.
And that was disappointing.
I ordered pizza. It was good.
No, I was disappointed by.
We got Waggers, I think.
Your McDonald's is just lacking. The menu.
Yeah.
The menu is just
Different.
Not as
there's nothing there.
voluptuous.
It's just some-
I remember doing like multiple trips to Tesco with my tiny little car. full of people,
Oh man,
Yeah, I
that
remember
photo
that.
when
and then
that photo
looking
when
at,
I'm sat in it,
looking at the suspension of it. Jeez.
the
Yeah, I
clearance from
remember
like
seeing
tire
that.
to rim was not a lot with
It was
all of
like-
us and all the shopping. Because we just weren't. We were
That
gonna
was a
stay there for what, like
inspiration
3
there.
days?
Yeah.
It was a good.
So we were going to stay there for 3 days and we had no food. So we arrived and we were like, well, we'll go to Tesco's, right? 19 to 20 people or something we needed to get like breakfast for. And everybody was buying booze as well because some of us had travelled by train or
Fucking hell.
stuff like that to get up there.
So the first time I go to so I went to London, right? That was fine. I flew into London, walked. I could just walk from what's the airport called? London City Airport.
Yeah,
You
so
went to the airport?
Yeah, I just walked to my hotel. Then Manchester. Yeah, then Manchester happened.
yeah,
I flew into Manchester Airport. Had to take I think 2 trains.
yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, because so Manchester Airport only goes to Manchester Piccadilly.
God,
I
it
think
was-
so,
had to
yeah, I
take
think it's
2
Piccadilly.
trains.
I
was
don't
lost.
think you can get anywhere else basically by
I
train.
wasn't necessarily lost, but then when I got to the actual stop I was supposed to go to, I just did not know where to go. My phone was dead.
Yep.
My batteries were dead.
Oh, buddy.
I was walking around. I finally asked someone. They said, "Yeah, it's there."
I'm like,
I
cool.
had been walking
nice.
around
Oh.
looking for this place. Well, it was like a 2-minute walk from the actual fucking.
I
station
Like,
I
was
think-
where
at.
is there?
The rare occurrence there was the first time, like your luck with the first time, because the majority of airports in England are not in the cities.
Nowhere near.
Yeah.
They're
Miles
not.
outside
Like,
usually.
Mind you, like Heathrow and Gatwick are both really easy to get into London from.
Birmingham International is also very easy to get into the centre, and arguably so is Manchester because Manchester Piccadilly Station is the centre of Manchester.
I will say
the point-
Stansted's a fucking nightmare.
The point I was getting to was that I go from my place to Amsterdam, which is like an hour and a half by train. You know, waiting for a flight takes a while. I go on a flight for like an hour, then it takes me another hour or so to. I spent about half a day traveling. I get there. I want to get a beer. What fucking beer did I buy? Fucking Heineken. I could have gotten that here.
Oh! I
The
remember
fact
like
that Heineken is the import from the Netherlands. It's just insane because it's the worst.
I think
Come
we'll
on.
Actually, the
find the
worst beer we
cheapest
sell.
one because
Yeah.
there's a lot of us.
I mean, yeah,
and I'm just like
but if
I remember just, like,
I don't get why that's the beer we export.
it's like fuck
There's
it.
so much.
God.
There's
Of all the beer, why?
all the beer. Why Heineken?
Manchester was good.
Dude,
Manchester's
Manchester was
real
really
So
good.
We need to do another.
Really, really good. We do. We need to have like a big
we're bit
meeting again.
smaller of a group. We're a smaller group. No.
I don't think we'll ever manage like the 9. I think it
No.
was 19 people. I don't think we'll ever manage 19 again.
That was
No, I don't think we will.
Just because
wild. Do you remember?
I
when-
don't even know.
So
Logistically, it was ridiculous
basically-
anyway.
Yeah.
we basically
fucking
got
Trying
this,
to find that
we
place.
basically got this big mansion, right? And it had like 4 floors, and with all these nice rooms. One of the nights we spent in the attic.
Yeah.
There were about 15
No.
of us. and
Everybody.
There were
You know why we
15 of
did
us
that,
in an
though?
attic. Was it you and Anna's room?
Me and Mia and Anna had gone upstairs to have a chat about something. We were like, oh, we'll go up to the top floor. Like, because we'd been going to different rooms and people had been following us in and we were like, we just want to go have a chat with each other because we haven't seen each other in like a year. We'll go upstairs and meet each other. We go upstairs and we're sat there talking, and slowly just everyone starts flooding in. And Chris comes in and be like, it's just bevved out of his mind and is like, everyone's been looking for you guys. We're lonely downstairs. And it's like, all of a sudden we look around and just everybody else is upstairs, and we're like, well, we'll do this later. We'll find.
I remember that because I was sat like on the floor in the attic, like really drunk, thinking, right, I should stop drinking at this point. And then Woody came up, and Woody was asking something from me, and I was like, look, if you make me a drink, then because the top floor all the way down to the bottom floor to make a drink and bring it all the way back up. I was like, I'll do it. I don't even remember what it was off the top of my head. And
there was a kitchen on every floor, though.
There was like
all of the
kitchen
booze
and
was
a toilet.
downstairs, and there was the basement, which was where the fridge was, which is where the drinks were. So we went all the way down, and then I took a sip from it, and it was one of the strongest drinks I've ever drunk. It was ridiculous.
Do you remember when I nearly killed Mia in the basement?
Oh, I remember you telling me about that.
She has heart problems, man. You can't just jump out of her in a dark place. It was really funny.
I remember hearing about that, and I was like, "Oh my god, they could have killed Mia, and I haven't even got there yet."
It wasn't going to be me. It was just the next person to come through the door. I was going to jump out.
It wasn't targeted. So the basement was, you went straight down some not really dark stairs, but straight ahead was a room where the fridge was, and that was fine. That was all lit up. But as you came down the stairs, if you went around the corner, there were two other kind of like garage type storage rooms, which were just pitch black. So obviously we explored them when we first arrived, and that's where you were waiting, wasn't it? Like Mia, like
the crib store.
Yeah, no, the crib store didn't actually include the basement.
No,
I rewatched it the other day.
It didn't.
I was laughing so much watching that video. It's so hilariously cringy. It's great.
Can someone get that up?
No.
I'm
vetoing that.
There's a powder room at one point, and
there's a powder room.
Is it not okay?
It was a bathroom that had powder room sign above it, and there's plenty of cocaine jokes. And
is Mia going to be upset if we show that?
And then when we get to the top floor, there's definitely jokes that HR wouldn't be happy about.
Like no.
Oh,
so
God.
Guru Cookie asked,
hey.
Where do you
It
put
was
19 people in a house in Manchester? It was
in Salford.
It definitely wasn't fit for 19 people.
So wait, how many beds actually were there? So
on the floor there were 3 beds.
3 double beds.
3.
So 6.
Yeah.
And the next floor
6.
up there were 1, 2, 3,
1, 2,
5,
3,
6.
Yeah.
There was only 1 in the room I had. I ended up in the room by myself.
Yeah, you were in the room by yourself.
6 double beds on the next floor up, and then on the top floor there were another 4 double beds.
Yeah. So there probably was enough for 19 people.
If everybody doubled up, there was sleeping space.
Instead of 4 in a bed.
Yeah.
But to be fair, like when we were actually doing stuff in the day, the majority of the time you couldn't have everybody in one room.
No.
No.
A lot of people just started going outside and just like.
Yeah,
I remember Matt started playing like American football outside.
Yeah,
we threw on about a bit on the first day.
Yeah,
Me,
yeah.
Matt, Woody, and
Rory?
I was there.
Oh no, Alex. No, this is like we were the very first people. That's why we're in the
because this happened on
the MTV Cribs video because it was before people arrived.
Which this definitely happened on the same day as well, right?
Maybe I don't think I was in there.
Because I remember
I picked Alex up at Birmingham and drove you guys up, didn't I? And then we met Woody on his motorbike at the random service station.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
That's when we had the sing-along as well. We made the playlist for the trip up, and we just drove from like Birmingham to Manchester singing all the way up the motorway.
I love that.
I remember this one night when we were really drunk, and Scott and I were singing this neck deep song like really badly. Do you remember that? We were just shouting the lyrics. It's just
that was
so
in Austin.
Flat. No. This
was it in Austin? You guys did
was
that? Was it neck deep?
No.
Manchester.
They were doing karaoke in Manchester because that's when we learnt Tiff can rap Eminem songs, and I was like,
really?
Oh yeah.
What?
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
And she was doing a few Linkin Park songs as well, which
that's awesome.
Not as hard, but yeah, she was like nailing them. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I was just like, what is this? That's awesome. I need to get her to do that next time.
Really
oh, Nathan with the bit. God bless him.
Yeah.
Nathan's here. Drunk Nathan's here.
Right before we end it, he's here.
He's here. Guru Cookie, yeah, it was right next to the student.
Yeah,
so like the university was there and it was across the road.
Yeah, it was really close.
It was really close.
It was right next to the
I don't think it's even an Airbnb
the train station.
anymore, is it?
Wasn't the
No,
train
it
station
is.
literally on the other side of the road or something?
Yeah,
Yeah, and
that's
I
what-
got
that's what I
lost.
said,
Because
yeah.
I kept like,
It's,
yeah,
it's still
Yeah,
an
so did all the
Airbnb now.
delivery drivers as well, apparently.
no one
It's
could
still-
find it.
It's still an Airbnb now, but it's been done up massively.
Oh,
We
yeah.
got-
So
we got
yeah,
it so
yeah,
cheap compared to what
yeah,
it's over double the cost now.
Fair enough.
yeah.
It-
And
it
they've
was-
taken out half the rooms.
It was still a little bit expensive when we went, but we accepted that because there were so many of us. But
Yeah.
we've looked at it like literally a month or something ago, and it's so expensive now. It would not be realistic to do it at all.
No.
Yeah.
No, it was
Not
just
there
it was
anyway.
ridiculous.
Honestly, we
I'm
could-
just saying New Forest. Just saying.
You really want the
That's
next
because
forest
it's
for the
next to
one?
where you live.
It's next to where my parents live.
I'm still.
Can we
saying-
do something in Newcastle?
I know
Please,
there's
Lord
a
God.
really good ice cream place just down the road from it.
I-
Solid.
I'm,
Damn,
I'm
son.
still, I'm still
Then,
saying.
yeah.
I'm still saying Nimbles,
Saying where?
Where?
where I live.
Oh no.
Next February. Next, if we're allowed,
No.
next February, right?
Carnival.
If we're allowed, yeah.
I'm gonna need
Oh
that.
yeah. I mean,
Oh
I
man,
can-
I'd love to go.
yeah.
Do you think that will go ahead?
Well, I think that was actually so. What we're talking about is Carnival, which is this holiday here in not all the Netherlands, much like the southern few provinces, where you just go out drinking for 5 days straight, right? As in, like, you wake up until you go to sleep, and you just drink a bunch, just like Mardi Gras or like what they have in
can,
Brazil as well,
like-
but like for 5 days straight. That
Kind of
that's-
preface this with you only drink beer. Like there is,
yeah.
there's no spirits. You're not like,
Oh, it's like Oktoberfest then.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, but it's like, it's not like big jugs of beer. It's just terrible music. That music is a genre on its own.
I still remember that that song, the Rechten Licht song. But who was it? Who was it by? Nah, Licht.
Snollebollekes.
Yeah, Schnollerbollen.
Yeah, there you go.
Monica
That's one of
Lewinsky.
them.
You nailed it again, right?
Got it, guys.
But
Got
that
it.
might actually be one of the reasons why Corona sort of spread a lot here in the Netherlands. Looking back on it, they said that there probably were cases before then, and actually, I was kind of sick. right around that point. So I might have had Corona and spread it.
Right,
But
just
we
like,
didn't know.
ooh.
We didn't know it then. We didn't know. It back
Coon
then.
is the
Didn't know
super
back
spreader,
then.
guys. We figured it
I
out.
didn't know it back then. Yeah, looking back
It's all
on it, I
ifs and
definitely had.
buts.
Yeah, I mean, looking back on it, I had all of the symptoms.
I was just like, yep, that was it. Well, they said they think it was in Paris in like December time, I think. And I was just like, ooh, we went to Paris in November. It was just like, shit.
yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just like, ooh.
I mean, what
Did
they're
any of us get
currently
sick of
saying,
that?
what they're currently saying is September for big events. So February, I mean, it might have spiked again. At that point,
Maybe.
but I don't.
If it's not
That's
solved by
maybe, yeah.
February, that means I've been stuck in this flat by myself for like a year, and
Dude.
that's not okay.
Yeah.
Chris, just
same,
come
I-
up here.
I mean, buddy, you have a flat. I have a room,
Everybody's-
a single room.
Yeah, that's true. You have a
Yeah,
single room.
true.
That's fair.
Like, if I'm looking at the other wall over there, it is,
Oh no.
it is. I can't touch it from here, but it's about 3 meters away from me, which doesn't mean anything to you because you don't use logical units of measurement. But
Meters definitely make
We have
sense.
meters.
you don't
Yeah,
use
meters
no,
make
you don't.
sense.
No, you don't use
Yeah.
meters. No, you don't.
Yeah, we do.
Don't light stuff. Don't fucking light
Like,
stuff.
it's like, no, I know your culture more, guys. Come on now. Stop.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they teach me about your culture in school, so
Yeah, I mean,
I know that you're all very polite. Is what they
Yeah.
taught me. Like I started laughing when I have this thing called intercultural course because they're teaching you to like do business with other countries, and when they were talking about the UK, the first thing was like, yeah, they're all really polite and they're they all want to just they don't want any confrontation. They just want you to be they just want to be nice to you, even though they don't think even though they don't agree with you. And I was just laughing. It's like, no, not at all. No, they suck. They suck. They're terrible.
suck. Like, get 'em
Oh,
gone.
he got the measure of us. I'll give him that.
Yeah, it pretty much did sum us up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Er,
Apart from Grey Fries
It's a
Bobby,
good
though.
time. Grey Fries Bobby.
That's a good dog.
Well, it was a dog,
It's a good
so
boy.
yeah, good
Good
boys.
boy.
Well, I think that's enough for now.
Yeah. We're calling it for now.
Yeah, I mean, we've been going for an hour and a half.
I feel like we covered the origin a little bit and segued a lot.
Yeah.
But
We're gonna get. I'm gonna get 3 other people and do that again next time.
Yeah, their perspective next time.
It's gonna be about 5 weeks of this same story.
Slowly rotating through everybody.
Yeah.
And it's bi-weekly, so that's like half a year covered.
That's like half a year done. There we go, we're sorted.
I don't think 10 weeks is half a year, but fine.
I mean, it feels like it at this point. It feels like it.
Fair enough, yeah. I mean, Corona's been going on for 4 years now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's been 4 years.
At this point,
It's been 4 years.
84 years.
It's been 4 years since last March. Yeah, no, I think it's a good first episode. It might look a bit different. Stuff might change around. The name might change. I don't think so. We might get a different overlay, but
I like the overlay. I think it was a good.
Nice.
The gist of it is just going to be us talking out of our asses for an hour to 2 hours or an hour and a half, or whatever.
We'll probably have a topic each time of generally-ish.
Yeah.
Veer away from dramatically all the time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Fine.
Great. Well, thank you 3 for being here as my first, as the first
victims.
That's right. And we'll be back in 2 weeks. It'll be me and 3 other people. We don't know who yet. There might be some repeat customers.
Customers.
We're going to try and keep
I'm
it
really trying
rotating.
to think of the word for
Customers.
Guests?
guests. Yes, that's actually not a difficult word.
You gotta.
Oh. Yeah, you voted for me.
Yeah.
You voted me.
Revote. Guys, revote. Come on. I think the Russians have something to do with it. Come on, let's do a
Chris voted
revote.
for me.
Yeah. So
Great.
stream on Thursday.
Yeah, we'll
Gmod.
do Gmod on
Yes,
Thursday.
Gmod on Thursday.
Big old group, and then I think it's going to be Saturday and Sunday as well, right?
Yeah.
Saturday Siege and Sunday Harry Potter's back.
Harry Potter.
Yes.
9 PM, Sunday 8 PM.
8 PM Sunday.
Yes.
Yep.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, that's all right.
So we'll see you guys then.
Thank you all for
Thanks
watching,
all.
and
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.